Shalom, everybody. Hallelujah. Bahasham Yashawai Hamashiach Warawak Hakwadash Aman. Aman. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. Today we're going to be going into part 4. We're in the book of Proverbs. In ancient Paleo Hebrew, Proverbs is called MaShaLaY. We're in chapter 7, verse 1. By the way, today is the 6th day of the 8th month. We're in the second semester of autumn, the second semester of fall right now. There's 30 days in this month. Next month, there's going to be 31 days because we're going to be having a season change into winter. So right now we're in the second semester of fall. Today is the 6th day of the 8th month, according to our solar Hebrew calendar. You see, our 364-day year cycle. According to the book of Enoch, which was given to Enoch, a righteous scribe, a righteous man by Christ through the Most High. You see, through the Most High, through Christ. You see. So I hope you guys are ready to learn today. Grab a pencil, pen, paper pad, or what you may. And let's go ahead and begin. By the way, according to the Gregorian calendar, or the Julian season calendar, today's the 18th day of October 2014. I don't really recognize that Julian season calendar anymore now that I know what it does. I tell my time based on the sun, stars, and moon. Based on the position of the sun right now, we are about at least an hour, 2 hours from noon. You see, to us that would be like hold on, let me see. It would be like near the 5th hour of the day, pretty much. The 5th hour into the day. So in 2 more hours, that'll make 6 hours that the sun is up. That means the sun is at its midpoint. And it takes about 6 more hours for it to settle down before we go into, into the next day, which is at evening, sundown. Because sundown, evening starts off what we call day. When the sun goes up, day is almost over. Once the sun goes down, day is over. We're in the next day. So, like I said, I tell my time based on the sun, stars, and moon. If you need any references to how to do the same, go into my page, my profile videos on my YouTube or whatever, and look through the profile, and you'll find information about keeping the dates and times. So let's go ahead and continue on with part 4, if it's not 5, but part 4 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, which mean byword, taunt, metaphor, parable. So let's go ahead and begin. Proverbs chapter 7 verse 1. MaShaLaY. My son and daughter, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Lay up what with thee? The Most High's commandments. Keep my commandments and live. Keep his what? His commands, and you shall live in the truth. And my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, the ones that don't think too much. I discerned among the youth a young man void of understanding. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner, and he went away to her house. And the twilight in the evening, and the twilight in the evening, and the black and dark night. So evening is the dark and black night, so-called twilight. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now she is without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently, to seek thy face, and I found thee. She was looking for you to make you fall into the pit of Sheol. Verse 16 of Proverbs, chapter 7, MaShaLaY. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let's fornicate. Let's commit adultery. Let us solace ourselves with loves. She's flattering you. Watch out. For the good man is not at home. He has gone a long journey. He won't be back until next week. You can come over. He won't find you in the house. It's just for one night. For the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed, like he said. With a much fair speech she caused him to yield, to fall, to stumble. With the flattering of her lips she forced him into adultery, fornication, sex before marriage, and cheating while married. Verse 22, chapter 7 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. He goeth after her straightway, doesn't think twice or nothing, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, like a stock market, another cattle. Verse 23, chapter 7 Proverbs. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the trap, to the snare, to the bait, and knoweth not that it is for his life. For his life. He's so flattered and feeling so good. She filled him up with so much good words and lust, got him burning with the fire of lust, of desire. He went straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the trap, and knoweth not that it is for its life. Verse 24, chapter 7 Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Parable, metaphor. Hearken unto me now, therefore, right now, hearken unto me. Incline your ear unto my voice. O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, because it's a declining. Go not astray in her paths. And for you women, don't be led astray by these men, flattering you with words. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, I love you. They only known you 2 days. How the heck do they love you already? These are signs. Listen to the signs. You know what I'm talking about. You sense that feeling in you that something's a little bit off. But because you want to be respectful and kind and compassionate, you go right into the trap. Like maybe, maybe she's not that bad. Maybe he's not trying to flatter me. Maybe he does love me in 2 days. Maybe he really genuinely does want to marry me within 1 month of meeting him. That's what you think, and you go right into the trap not knowing you're fighting for your life. And then you get yourself into a marriage contract, which is a contract between you and the person, the Most High. You cannot get out of that easily. You can't just say, hey, I want to divorce you and get a prenup. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do it like that. Because now the Most High is invoked in this, and y'all spirits are intertwined into one like Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve stayed with one person throughout their entire life. So let not thine heart decline to her or his ways. Go not astray in his or her ways, her paths. For she cast down many wounded, many that fell down, that thought that he or she would do them good, but did them worse. They were better off alone. If only they knew ahead of time. Pardon me, there's a fly bothering me over here. Continuing on. So, verse 26, for she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, verse 1. Do not wisdom cry? Do not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice. Of course understanding put forth her voice. She standeth in the top of high places, in the government, where everyone's at, even through the superstars in television. She standeth up in the top of high places, by the way, in the places of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the portals, at the openings, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors, like the kingdom of Jerusalem, or the kingdom of heaven, or at the kingdom of the garden of Eden. So she crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. On verse 4, chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Verse 5. O ye simple, understand wisdom. What is wisdom? Ponder this real quick. Soak it up real quick. What is wisdom? What is the feeling of understanding? How does it feel to understand? How does it feel to understand wisdom? This what I'm reading to you today, my friends, is wisdom. Understand it. Don't be simple, a simple fool. Be simply wise and understanding. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart, an understanding mind, an understanding emotion, an understanding mentality, a set of mind. Everything is mind. Mind shapes reality. Mind shapes everything. But the Most High's mind, which we call will, is much stronger than ours. So may his mind and will be done on earth as it is in heaven. For all men to have understanding, wisdom, love, kindness, compassion, truth, charity, all these good traits that humans used to have at some point before they fell. Verse 6, chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things. So hear it. And the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, amat, and wickedness, is an abomination to my lips. Which means watch the words you use. Watch how you talk to people. Refrain from profanity and cursing. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness, tazadah, which means everything I say, it's for a righteous reason. I'm not saying anything to put you down. I'm not saying anything to put pressure upon you. I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, but I'm trying to tell you that the way we're heading is not the way. And this is the way, and we all need to work together to head that way. Understand wisdom, dear friend, and speak truth, because wickedness and lie is an abomination to our mouth. So all the words of my mouth are spoken in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. I'm not trying to tweak the words. I'm not perverting the word. And there's no fraud behind this. I don't get paid for this. It's almost like I'm speaking to whoever's listening in vain. Because those who's listening is very few. There's not many. There's definitely no gain from this other than for me. Obviously, from reading this, I'm gaining insight, wisdom, and understanding. And those who's listening to it is greatly benefiting from this. This is profitable. But those who are watching this, they're not watching this. I'm not profiting off anyone doing this stuff. So therefore, and by the way, a gift perverts a righteous heart. So verse 8, chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, in the Holy King James Bible, in the Bible of God Almighty, translated from Hebrew into English. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. If you find some, please point it out to me. I would like to correct myself. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Find knowledge. Receive my instruction. These are instructions. And not silver, dollars, and gold. And knowledge, receive knowledge rather than choice gold. What is gold going to do for you when you're dead? What is silver going to do for you when you're dead? Now compare what I just said to this. What is knowledge and truth going to do for you when you pass away? Knowledge and truth can do a great deal of great things for you. If you use it the right way, it's the key to all realms, all portals, all dimensions, all places. Matter of fact, knowledge and truth is the key to the human psyche. You can control nature and actually control the elements through truth. Because the truth is the truth, and the truth shall remain the truth. Therefore, through the truth, you shall be able to move things. And because we're the truth, the lie cannot move us. We cannot be moved. Because Christ is the truth. His words is the truth, not the flesh. What is flesh, silver, and gold going to do for you compared to spirit, truth, and love? Love can go a long way. Even if you don't believe there's a heaven, how can you go wrong loving? How can we ever go wrong loving where the world loves each other and they're compassionate and they care for one another? And we help our neighbors up and each other up instead of discourage each other and bash each other down to the point we feel like nothing and got to try to prove so much and never end up doing it. I hope I'm not trying to prove nothing right now, because we do live in that type of world that I just made an example of. Love can go a long way, and it takes a lot to live in love and peace in this world of war and lie and challenges and competition. Who am I competing with other than myself? I am my opponent. I am my best friend. I am my worst enemy, because my mind, my emotions create and design my reality. You see? Because that's the type of powers my Creator give me. And the powers of mind and emotion is disguised under the simple word we call free will. So when you have the free will to ponder and feel and do what you want to do, but there's always going to be an opposite or equal reaction to what you do, to what you cause. Cause and effect. This is how you use the truth to cause something good and to have a good effect, a truthful effect. So everything has an opposite and an equal pole, you see? Like the north and south pole, black and white, left and right, poor and rich, red and blue, Democrat, Republican, demon, God, Satan, Christ, light and dark, sun and moon, rain and sunshine. There's always two sides to everything. This is called wisdom. So receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. Chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies. Think about it. Because when you have wisdom, you can acquire rubies. You can acquire that job. You can get that best position you wanted. You can find that dream lover that you've been looking for. But without wisdom, you fall for the first thing you see. Like, oh, this person said they love me. Although I know them in 2 days, I believe they love me. No, 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 dear friend. Have discernment. Have understanding and have wisdom. Can't nobody fall in love with the true you in a short amount of time. Because they haven't seen all you yet. They seen your good side. They seen you with the makeup on. They seen you during your good times. You see? They're seeing you while you're all healthy. They haven't seen you on your sick day. They haven't seen you on your most challenges day. They haven't seen you with no makeup on yet. Or when you just rose up out of bed and you have boogers on the side of your eye and wipe whatever around your mouth because you just woke up. You see? They haven't seen the ugly you yet to know what they truly love. You don't know who loves you until you lose it all. Lose it all. I dare you to leave your job and turn your back on money for a while. I bet you all your friends in the world won't be found. How much you want to bet on it? I bet you none of them will be found. And I know this by experience. I dare you. And y'all out there who's still smoking and doing drugs, watch when you stop doing it, all those friends disappear. And guess what? That's a good thing, because you don't need that type of negative influence around you. That's wisdom. That's understanding. Receive this instruction. It's righteous. I'm not trying to pervert nothing, and there is no fraud in my speech, because wickedness is an abomination to my lips. So verse 11, chapter 8, Proverbs, MaShaLaY. For wisdom is better than rubies, diamonds, and gold, even better than being famous and acquiring the whole world. What's the point of gaining the whole world, but then you lose your very soul? The soul that came here to experience this very world. How are you going to lose your soul and try to enjoy your soul at the same time? How are you going to sell your soul and own the world at the same time? You can't. Either you choose to keep your soul and you earn your life and your living, or you choose to sell your soul and believe that you have everything, but you can't because you sold that soul that is enjoying what you call everything. You see, it's the soul that is here to enjoy everything. Once you give it away, everything the soul enjoys, everything that the soul came here for, goes to whoever you sold the soul to. It's like an oxymoron. It's hot, but it's very cold. Wait. Which one is it? Are you selling your soul so you can sell the world, to sell everything you had? Or are you keeping your soul so you can keep everything that the soul is here to enjoy? You cannot sell your soul and gain the whole world in fame. You no longer belong to you. You are forever a puppet under contract, blood covenant to Illuminati, Lucifer, false light, Barak, lightning, Zeus, fall from the sky. And those of y'all who know what I'm saying know why I put it that way. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. So verse 11, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to wisdom. Nothing desired. This wisdom, these books is like a library. We become a living oracle of the divine presence that manifested this world. Think about it, man. Something had created all of this. Why should I ever tone my mouth down or be afraid of what anybody will say? They must be fools to not look outside to the sky and be like, whoa, no man created that. What ladder can reach the sky and reach space and create planets on other places and other galaxies and other universes? Who can do that other than something that is more powerful than all things put together? The Most High. So, verse 12, this is wise. This is very wise. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Verse 13, chapter 8. The fear of the Most High Yahweh is to hate evil, hate wickedness, hate liars, hate injustice, hate hatred, which means turn your back away from it and go to its opposite. Yes, I said hate, which means don't literally hate like, oh, I want to destroy this. Turn your back away from it. Don't go the way of that path. Like seeing the alley very, very dark. And you're like, whoa, I'm not going down that alley. That means you hate that alley. You turn your back on it. So when you turn your back on what's right, guess what? You hate righteousness. So know what the true definition of love and hate is. Hate is to push away, to repel. Love is to bring closer, to attract. You see, to bind. So when you hate something, it means to repel it, block it. It doesn't mean to go destroy it. It could mean that, but it doesn't just mean that. It doesn't mean to feel a grudge. It definitely don't mean that. It doesn't mean to feel any sort of wickedness in you towards wickedness. It means to simply turn your back on it and go the opposite way. I'm heading towards love. I was heading towards hate, but now I'm heading towards love. Turn your back on it. That's hate. If you turn your back on my word, it's because you don't love me. Or the God that spoke in these words. So verse 13, chapter 8 of Proverbs. The fear, the reverence of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. Pride is when you know you're wrong and you don't want to admit you're wrong because you hate being wrong. No, 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 I'm not wrong. You're wrong. What's wrong with you? You're crazy, man. You psycho. You don't lost your head. You're kook. All types of words to lift up their pride and, feel good about their self. You're wrong. Wickedness is not the path, and there is a God. Destroy your pride. Destroy Leviathan and Behemoth in the mighty name of Yis-RoyAl, our almighty pure white light sword. The truth will always annihilate lie, and the light will always destroy the dark. Do you see any darkness in this daytime? We're the children of the day. Let your light shine forth. Do not hide the truth regardless of what might happen. It's inevitable anyway, and it was already predestined. All of this. The Most High knew that I would speak this way today. He appointed it for this. So, the fear of the Most High is to hate evil, to hate pride, and hate arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth. Hey, we're going to bring the troops back by next year. Oh, change we can believe in. Oh, Obama cares. Get the insurance today. You'll be saved. If you don't get it, you'll die. Get the vaccine. There's no Ebola poison in the vaccine. If you don't get the vaccine, you and your children and your family might die. Think about it. You can get it for $5.99. I see right through you businessmen. Froward mouths do I hate. Verse 14, chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Counsel is mine. Counsel is in wisdom. So ask wisdom what you should do before you do it. It's wise counsel. And sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign. Because of wisdom kings reign. And princes decree justice. By me princes rule. And nobles, even all the judges of the earth, although they are void of this now, because we're in the end times. I love them that love me. I love you too, wisdom. Barakatah. And those that seek me early shall find me. Those who seek it late, that seek her late, shall be left out, the left behind. What's wrong with wisdom and understanding? What's the point of going to school if it ain't what you're there to learn? Some wisdom, how to build a garden, how to potentially make your own business. You know what I'm saying? Like to learn your language, to learn understanding and discernment. If you're not going to school to learn that, then what the heck you spending money in there for? Luckily, it's through our tax dollars, you know what I'm saying, which are forcefully deducted from our checks. And when we go to shop, that fund those public schools. But they teach your kids nothing. It's now, at the age of 26 earth ages, I am learning something. For the first time in my life, the truth is not in school. They're not teaching you any truth. They're preparing you to become scientists for the government, government employees, teachers working for the government, implementing martial law. You see, and implementing the demonic laws, which is lie, wickedness, and fraud. I mean, aren't we here to learn? Aren't we here to grow, to expand, to thrive, to reach for the most high truth, to know where we all came from? And there's only one place we came from, so why do they allow people to believe all types of junk? Because they want you to go into the broad path to hell instead of the narrow path to heaven. There's only one way into heaven, and those who are on that one way see the one thing. And there's one God. No matter what you call him, there's one creator. And he created me. He created my mom. He created my father. He created all things. He's the one who's speaking. It's not this flesh speaking. It is him that dwelleth in me that doeth the works. Just like my brother Yis-RoyAl, my king Yis-RoyAl, my savior Yis-RoyAl had said as well. And they crucified him for it. They thought he was trying to raise himself up to the status of God, but they misinterpreted him. He was talking about a spiritual thing while people were putting his words into a physical perspective. You see? So every time he says the Father that dwelleth in me and it's the Father that speak, they thought he was talking about his flesh. His voice, flesh. Can you see words? Can you see what I'm saying to you? No, you can see my physical lips moving because the physical body is being manipulated by its divine maker. That's what was going on with Yis-RoyAl. And no one got it. Blasphemy is to say that there is no God, and blasphemy is to say that God's not within. If God's not within, then the devil is. And if the devil's not within, then God is within. You know, who do you have room for within your inner home? Your inner tabernacle. Sparkling gold and glistening crystal. So right here, verse 14. I am understanding, I have strength. So we go over here to verse 17. I love them that love me, wisdom says, and those that seek me early shall find me. Verse 18, chapter 8 of Proverbs. MaShaLaY. Riches and honor are with me. Riches and honor spiritually and physically. Yeah, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold. Yeah, than fine gold. 0.99 ounces of gold. And my revenue, IRS, Internal Revenue Service, or SINSTEM. And my revenue is better than choice silver. And we don't even use gold and silver no more. We fell below fell. We're into the paper ages. Next is the chip and technology, and we will never get our gold and silver back, which they have promised us through those federal promissory notes that everyone keep thinking is money. It's not money. And especially under the Constitution of this America and stuff, you know what I'm saying? The only thing deemed money and currency is silver and gold. And England took it all, and these punk Americans ain't doing nothing about it. Not the rednecks, not the KKKs, not the dark-skinned people, not the Hispanics, no one. They accepted promissory notes as money. That means the Constitution is null and void. Because the currency makes the law. All the law under money was all about trading and commerce, buying and selling. Y'all got to understand these things. This comes from wisdom and understanding. Seek what runs your system. Who governs your system? Who are they personally? Yeah, I hear they're president, but who are they? Do some research on them. You know, look everywhere. Don't stop. Be curious. Question all things. You know what I'm saying? And stop asking redundant junk. Well, how do you know Obama's bad? How do you know about... Go do some research. I just showed you 2 billion proofs. I just proved to you he didn't bring the troops back. I just proved to you he don't care. I just proved to you the dude's a liar. I just proved to you his name means Lucifer, lightning, Zeus, in Greek. You done seen it all. You know he ain't Christian. You know he's Islamic. You know how them Islamic people hate us Hebrews, us Hebrew Israelites, and they hate those Christians, those Roman Catholic converts. So stop asking dumb, silly, redundant questions. Well, how do you know, though, that it's true? What if someone made it up? What if it's photo? Man, do your own research. I don't have time for this. I have a truth detector within me and a BS detector in me, and I know what's what. You're not going to come into my life and try to manipulate what I know. Not in this man's life, nor in the spirit that controls this man. Verse 20, chapter 8, MaShaLaY, aka Proverbs. I lead in the way of righteousness, Tazadat, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that may cause those that love me to inherit substance, tangible things, tangible substance. And I will fill their treasures, spiritually and physically. The Most High, Yahweh, Al-Hayam, possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. Barashayat, aka Genesis. Verse 24, chapter 8 of Proverbs. When there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest parts of the dust of the world. from dust to dust, from spirit to spirit, from hell to hell. Verse 27. When he prepared the heavens, spiritually and physically, as well as the outer space, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, it's a nice blue sky today. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep, of the ocean, the depths that man cannot reach or his head will pop. When he gave to the sea his decree, his commandment, when he gave the sea his commandment and his order, that the waters should not pass his commandment. So the waters and the elements are under commandment. Nothing transgress its law. The sun rise up at the same day every day. The moon rise up the same time every day. Actually, the moon kind of transgressed. She's a Jezebel spirit. That's why we don't follow the moon calendar, and especially because the man is the head of the house, which represents the sun, and the woman follows the man, which is the moon. And the woman technically is a rebel. She's rebellious sometimes, like Jezebel, Baal, rebel. You see, rebellion. You see. So therefore, if you follow the moon, you're going to be off time with all of the years, all of the feasts and seasons. And the Most High said this stuff. The Most High said this stuff. This stuff has been said before. I said it before multiple times for those of y'all who've been watching these things. Don't follow the woman. She's technically Eve. Or you're going to be biting into the apple over and over and over and over and over again. Stop following the woman. Be a man of your own home. That does not mean to not listen to her, to not listen to the signs and pay a little attention to her, but don't follow her. There's a difference between listening and taking instruction and following someone. You know what I'm saying? And women function based on the emotions. They don't function based on logic. So is the moon. It's spontaneous and creative. These are good things though, but do not follow it. Like someone might get emotionally angry at something and you go follow them and you have no logic behind it. You got a crip, angry and emotional, and goes into a crowd of bloods without thinking, hey, this is a crowd of bloods. Let me logically think. There's more than them than me. Let me not go in there. Because they're missing the logic and they're emotional, they end up letting their emotion drive them into that place and they get beat down. They get jumped. They get stomped. You know what I'm saying? So don't get stomped out following the moon or your woman. But that doesn't mean don't listen to what's righteous. You know what's righteous. You know. Those of y'all who are men and not sissy boys. Effeminate. Verse 24. Verse 27. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. Alright, so let's continue on. We're in verse 29. By the way, I made an error in the beginning. Today is October 19th, 2014. By the way, October 19th. Alright. So let's continue on. Verse 28. When he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the foundations of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment, even the waters and all of the elements are under commandment, everything. When he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, wisdom speaking, rejoicing always before him, in front of him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, And my delights were with the sons of man. Wisdom had dwelt with us. Now therefore hearken unto me, hearken unto wisdom, understanding, discernment, and insight, the spirit of truth, the Holy Mother. O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Blessed are those who keep the ways of truth, wisdom, and light. Verse 33, chapter 8 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Hear instruction. What? Hear. Hear what? Instruction. And be wise. And refuse it not. Do not refuse instruction. Blessed is the man that heareth wisdom, that heareth me. Watching daily at my gates, portals, and openings. At the gates, portals, and openings of wisdom. May the chambers of the Holy Spirit of truth open up and rain upon us. Amen. Hallelujah. Waiting at the post of my doors. So blessed, Barak is the man that heareth me. Barak, blessed is the woman that heareth me. Watching daily at my gates. Waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me, findeth life. Christ is the truth, the way, and the life. This is the Spirit of Christ speaking, although it is the Spirit of truth. Verse 35. For whoso findeth me, findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Most High, self-existing, Yahweh, Ahaya, Alahayam. But he that sinneth, that disobey and rebel against me, against wisdom and truth, wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate wisdom love death. Chapter 9 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Verse 1. Wisdom had builded her house. She had hewn out her 7 pillars, which remind me of the 7 holy archangels. She had killed her beasts. She had mingled her wine. She had also furnished her table. The table of the banquet, the holy Last Supper, or of the wedding, which is occurring between Yis-RoyAl and Christ Yeshua, HaMashiach, between the Savior and the saved. And the wine represents the Spirit of Christ, which is the truth, and you shall drink him, and ye shall be free. You are drinking the truth and eating the truth right now. Salah. That means digest. Digest. She had set forth her maidens, which are her angels. She crieth upon the high places of the city, like in the government, and in the high places of the spiritual realms, seeking for those that are seeking for her. Whoso is simple, let him turn in his hair. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat of my bread, the bread of Christ, the bread of truth, which is the flesh of Christ, and drink of the wine, which I have mingled, which is the blood of Christ. So eat of my bread, eat of the truth, and drink of the wine, drink of the truth, which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding, which means leave all those foolish things you used to follow and chase after. Leave all those foolish friends, the foolish people around you, and go pursue understanding, truth, love, light, compassion. Amen. Hallelujah. Forsake the foolish and live. Verse 7, chapter 9 of MaShaLaY of Proverbs. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. Why? Because the scorner don't care about the truth. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your breath. You're going to keep telling them the truth and they're going to keep rebuking it. Do you not hear rebuke? The fool does not hear rebuke. You see? When you're rebuked, leave it alone. Don't try to force it upon them. Let them suffer. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. And he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Because they don't want to hear it. And it's going to end up making you feel a certain way. Probably angry, upset, or doubtful. So forsake the foolish and live. Verse 8. Reprove not a scorner. Don't correct the scorner after you have tried a couple of times. Let it be. Let them suffer. Lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. So rebuke a wise man, which means correct a wise man, and he'll love you because you have corrected him. You have taught him something that he possibly did not know. You see, and that's beneficial, that's profitable. I love when someone corrects me when I'm wrong. It's such a blessing to have someone that tells you the truth instead of flatter you and make you feel good. Now, I'm not trying to put anyone down and make anyone feel bad, but this is the truth. So who is simple, let him turn in his hair. As for him that wanted understanding, she said to him, come eat of my bread, and drink of the wine. Come and get it, which I have mingled. So do not reprove a scorner. Don't correct them. Let him be. The worst thing you can do is to allow someone to remain ignorant. It really is. It's the worst thing you can do to somebody. They used it against the Africans, against the Haitians, against the so-called Negroes. At a point in history, it was illegal to read a book because knowledge is power. It's very scary to be seeing a dark-skinned man reading a book. You see what I'm saying? What is he up to? What is he learning? Were you reading a book of Machiavelli or How to Make War? Or, what type of book is he reading? It's to the point in prison they're taking away the Bible too. They're not letting people read any book. And they're taking away the law books from people as well. You see, so people will remain stupid and ignorant, which is the worst thing you can do to somebody. Because if you don't know the truth, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have knowledge, eventually you're going to fall right into the trap, right? But if you have knowledge and truth, you'll be able to see the trap a long mile away and avoid it. And that's what they don't want you to do. So if a scorner want to keep scorning, if a fool and a wicked man want to continue being wicked and foolish, reprove not, don't reprove him, lest he hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, a man of justice, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Most High, Yahweh, Ahaya, he is self-existing, is the beginning of wisdom. What is the beginning of wisdom? The fear and reverence of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. And the knowledge of the Holy is understanding. That is the knowledge of the Holy. What is the knowledge of the Holy? Understanding. Understanding the Most High, overstanding the wicked, and understanding self. For by me thy days shall be multiplied. For by wisdom your days shall be multiplied. And the years of thy life shall be increased. Verse 12, chapter 9 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. Which means this is all for me. This is all for you. If you receive the message, if you receive the instruction, the insight, the guidance, it's for you. Don't expect anybody else to comprehend you. Don't expect anybody else to understand you. And don't expect anybody else to agree with you. Because this was for you and you only, and for those that come and eat of the bread and drink of the wine, which the wisdom has mingled. So, if thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. So I'm talking to myself. But if thou scornest, if you start going at people, trying to change them and everything, and calling them names, thou alone shalt bear it. Verse 13, chapter 9 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. This is a parable, a metaphor. A foolish woman or a foolish man is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. But she thinks she knows it all. Talk, 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 chitter, chatter, chit. just yap, 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 you know. But a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple, basic, naive, and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, like Hillary Clinton. Always got this big, powerful, strong man, you know what I'm saying, beside her, but yet she's nobody. She's nothing. Just sitting there trying to grab up some of his glory. You see? Trying to look good. Like, hey, I got a rich man. Oh, look, my husband got a lot of money. He's famous. What a harlot. That is a foolish woman. And she is simple and knoweth nothing. And she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city. Verse 15, chapter 9 of Proverbs. To call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in his hair. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests, her host, are in the depths of hell. Blood fire. Chapter 10 of Proverbs, verse 1. The proverbs, the metaphors, or the figures of speech, or the wise utterings of Solomon, Shalomah, which is man of peace. A wise son maketh a father glad, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death, from sin. The Most High, Yahweh, will not suffer or tolerate the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. Verse 4, chapter 10, Proverbs. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack and lazy hand. Remember, thoughts, emotions, and feelings become things. So what you set your mind upon, what you visualize, what you conjure and perceive in your mentality, and fuel with your heart, and act upon, shall become manifest, invisible. And as you can tell what's in my heart and mind to make it back home to heaven. This is what brings me to speaking like this and making videos like this. Because I want to go back home. I want to live in a world of peace, of justice, of righteousness. I see nothing wrong with that. I'm blinded by the fact that the way I'm headed may not be the right way. I'm blinded by this way of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any other way but to be righteous. What's the whole point of government in a jail system and education if it's going to be used for malfeasant reasons and malfeasant purposes? You know what I'm saying? Malevolent means. It should be benevolent. You see, it should be beneficial to the whole. And that's what I believe. So forgive me if I'm blinded by trying to head the right way. So, verse 4. He becometh poor, spiritually and physically, that dealeth with a slack and lazy hand. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Which means once you start something, finish it. From start to end, take it one step at a time until you reach your destination. Like like my homeboy said, how do you eat an elephant? Although I don't suggest to eat one. It's too big to eat it whole, right? You eat it one bite at a time. And this is how you absorb this information and teach yourself how to learn. You see? This is how you keep your integrity. But if you think about eating a whole elephant, what's going to happen within and in your mind? In your mind, you're going to be like, whoa, that's too big of an elephant. You're going to visualize your small mouth and a big elephant trying to go in it. And you'll be overwhelmed. You'll be like, I'm not going to do it. So that feeling fuels the thought and you won't do it. You won't start it. But if you think about, hey, what if I eat it one piece at a time with a fork and knife until I'm done? Then eventually you'll be like, all right, I got something I can do now. I got something I can work with. You eventually take it one bite at a time until the whole thing is accomplished. So do not overwhelm yourself. Be diligent and have a lot of integrity and consistency with frequent breaks here and there, because your body needs rest here and there. And this is how you learn anything in the world. There hasn't been one thing in the world that I've set my mind upon that I have not learned it. Everything. I have learned many things because I'm consistent. I'm diligent. I know what I want and I go for it. And I understand that my mind, my emotions, and my feelings, especially my actions, you know what I'm saying, shapes my reality. Thoughts don't become things, but thoughts become feelings. Feelings and thoughts end up becoming actions or reactions. Actions and reactions become a cause, and to every cause, there is an effect. To everything you do, there is a result. What you put in is what you have stored in store. That's what you will receive. What goes around comes back around. What goes up comes back down. Like attract like. So if you think a certain way, you're going to meet people that think along the same lines as you. Maybe not exactly like how you think, but there'll be another piece to the puzzle to add on to what you already know, or what you probably didn't know, or what you know but kind of forgot and need to be reminded of. You see, like attracts like. Now those who listen to me are those who are saved, because I know I'm going home. Like attract like. So verse 4, chapter 10 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. So once again, let's do verse 4. He becometh poor, physically and spiritually, that dealeth with the slack and lazy hand. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Work for what you want. Verse 5. He that gathereth in the summer harvest, that grows plants, have cattle and sheep in a farm like real humans are supposed to have, is a wise son or daughter, or both. But he that sleepeth in harvest, he that does not grow plants and have a farm and do these things you're supposed to be doing and invest into that, is a son that causeth shame. Verse 6. Blessings are upon the head of the just, of those who believe in justice. No man has the right to do wrong. No, not even abomination. But violence, covereth the mouth of the wicked. All they speak is war, 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 fight, fight, fight. Their mouth won't lead to any freedom, to any liberty, and to any salvation. Their mouth will only lead to more war. They're not trying to solve any war right now. They're not trying to bring peace. They're trying to solve war with war and put out fire with gasoline. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Don't fall for them, man. They're great deceivers. Their way lead down to the depths of hell. Remember, they're the children of Cain and the children of Shatan. Shatana. You see? The Mastemas, the Beelzebub and Leviathan, all these levels of demons. You see, that's what they are. So they're here to destroy and to ruin, which means Jehovah. God ruins, but it's not God ruining, it's a man doing it. Through the divine powers of not God. In other words, Satan. So violence covereth the mouth of them. Verse 7. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot in hell. Verse 8, chapter 10 of Proverbs. The wise in heart will receive commandments, guidance, insight, and instruction. Inspiration as well. In his spirit shine. But a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. But he that perverteth his ways shall be known, revealed, exposed, made naked. He that winketh with the eye, or Mr. Obama, wink, wink. Like the Illuminati one eye symbol, their third eye symbol. So he that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow. Illuminati, kill Illuminati. It's funny too, when you spell Illuminati backwards into Yahoo, guess where it takes you to? NSA. Now that I just said that, this is all being recorded. Because you have, I think it's called Eshkelon or some type of like if you talk on the phone, you say a certain word, like say for instance, like bomb, you know what I'm saying? It instantly triggers their machine and tell them there's a threat or something going on. It shows you, it shows them where you live, where you're at, all types of stuff. So watch out what you say over the phone unless you're prepared for the effects. And by the way, they're spying on us. But when you type in Illuminati in Google or Yahoo backwards, it takes you to the National Spying Agency. These guys are the most professional spy agency that ever existed in this universe. Professional. They got all types of decrypting machines. You think you're protecting your company, man. They got all types of stuff. Futuristic stuff, man. You'll be shocked. And they can't even tell people much of this. I've learned this from some whistleblowers. Those that work for them and realize, hey, I'm the only one that can expose these things. So let me go ahead and lose my job and lose my life and expose these things. And so they did. Some of them are still alive, but the government's going to end up killing them and making them look like traitors for telling the people that we're under threat domestically. I thought the Constitution is an oath to protect the people from domestic and foreign threats. What's going on? Now it's illegal, you know what I'm saying, to tell the truth. It's illegal to expose fraud. It makes no sense. This all makes no sense. They got their own thing going on up there in the system. The stem of sin, Jack and the beanstalk, come tumbling on down. So he that winketh with the eye, Illuminati, causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. Verse 11. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. So may your words give people life and resurrect souls. But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Verse 12, chapter 10 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. Hatred stirreth up strifes, especially skin color hatred, discrimination, and prejudiceness. Prejudging things like you psychic. Or you could have, or maybe you could have. There's a chance you could have. Possibly you're not psychic. The law is not based on psychics. If you have not seen someone commit a crime, they have not committed a crime. You can say that the whole world could have, should have, and would have, this and that. Or I had a vision that the world, this and that. But that does not make it fact. So therefore, if you don't have proof and evidence, your claims are meritless. So hatred, prejudiceness, and discrimination is hatred. And it stirreth up strifes. But love covereth all sins. Love covereth all sins. Love in your heart, joy in your heart and mind, covereth all sins. It blots out hatred. Hatred cannot live in love, and love cannot live in hatred. Nor can light live in dark. It will cast the dark away, and dark definitely can't even come near light. It will pop and be eradicated. That's why some people can't stand us truth tellers, because they're full of lie, and you're exposing them, which they call snitching. That's why they don't like you telling what they're doing. And they got people who lie upon good people, like they did with Christ. What did Christ do that he should have been crucified and whipped and beat up and spit upon like he was? These people are the children of the devil. So love covereth all sins. I forgive y'all. Verse 13, chapter 10. In the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found. But a rod, a spanking, a punishment, is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Now there's a reasonable way to spank your child. You see, on the butt or on the hand. I don't believe in pinching and all that stuff. And I don't believe in mixing anger with correction. You can't, like some parents, they'll be so upset at you. At the same time they're trying to correct you, they put all their force into your butt. I don't believe in that. There's a moderate way to correct your children without it ending up being abuse. Because there is such thing as abuse when you're beating your kid upside the head and taking a sandal and whacking it across their face, or taking the iron cord and you're wrapping it around their neck, or whipping. All that stuff is evil. That's not of God. That's not no correction. Matter of fact, you need to get your butt beat because what you're doing is wrong. And whoever beats your butt needs to do it in a modest way, a moderate way, where they're not putting their whole force into you and, beating you with the belt buckle. Now, all that stuff is crazy. But yes, your children does need correction here and there. A little tap on the butt, a little tap on the hand, and you explain to them what they did wrong so they can correct themselves. Because that's the same way the Most High deal with us. When you go rob like a bank, the Most High punished you by sending a troop of police to your house. And they kick down your door, and you want to fight back, you get Billy Baton down, you get handcuffed, thrown into a paddy wagon, and get thrown in solitary in jail. You see? And then when you go to court, you lose the case. Why? Because they have evidence that you swung at cops, that you had a gun, that you robbed a bank. That's full of merit. And that's a punishment. That's like getting a beating. But the Most High, he does his best not to aim for the head. He does his best not to beat you with the iron wire. He does his best, but sometimes you kids are so hard-headed. The Most High said, let it rip. Let it rip. I'm going to send them tornadoes. I'm going to send them floods. I'm going to send them poverty. I'm going to send them plagues and diseases. I'm going to make them completely not at ease. And this is how the Most High punish us and correct us when we do wrong, so we can amend our ways and turn around and head the correct way. This is wisdom. But those who don't correct their children, those who don't correct who they love, hate them. They turn their backs on them. They're not correcting them. How long can you just tell a child, don't do that, sweetie? Oh, sweetie, don't do that. How long? Eventually they turn 16 and now they're like, hey, I know my mom won't punish me. I won't get grounded. I won't get spankings. They won't take away my privileges. So I'm going to abuse this. I'm going to take advantage of this. Kids do this. They know. Kids ain't foolish. Sometimes parents are. They forget how they were when they were children. It was sometimes those spankings that put them in the right place. Unfortunately, I grew up being beat up the wrong way, but once again, I understand why it happened the way it happened. But yeah, it was gruesome for me growing up. And especially when you have Haitian or Jamaican parents from the tribe of Levi and the tribe of Banyamyan, from the 12 tribes of Israel. It's difficult because they do believe in spanking their kids. You go to Haiti, you actually see men spanking their women, which is crazy to me. That's just crazy to me, but it's okay there. If someone's fighting in the street, you'll see the people grab a belt and start whipping the people in the street. Jamaican parents, so-called Negro parents, and especially Haitian parents, don't play when it comes to punishment correction. Their kids obey them. They're very afraid of their parents. So once again, verse 13. In the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found. But a rod of spanking is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish, which means watch what you say and who you say it to. Some people ain't playing around nowadays. They'll gun you down. You think some people care about jail? You think some people care about lethal injection or the electric chair? Some people don't care about anything. They're just full of evil. Stay away from them. Don't make them a friend. Don't make them a company. They're only your friend until you change. And then they change for the worse. All this Negro, blah, 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 had changed up. Let's go ride up on him. Drive by. They do this a lot in the so-called ghettos. I'm happy I'm far away from that junk. Growing up in that junk was wild. And I don't know why some young, dark-skinned Hebrew Israelite men, when they talk about, I want to raise my son or my daughter in the hood. What's so good in the hood? There's nothing good there. It's literally a hood. You're in a trunk most of your life until you let loose out of it and see the vast world, the majority of the world. There's more than life than just a ghetto in the hood. Get out of the trunk. And pull your dang pants up unless you're a fag. Trying to turn fag into swag, switching F-A-G with S-W-A-G. Y'all need to know the history of that junk, man. It ain't cool. No one wants to see a stinking butt crack. Pardon my language, but this is true. I'm not trying to put no one down. This is true. No one want to see a butt crack. It's nasty, and the women go after these type of men. Oh, he's cool. He's hip. You fool. I'm going to be single for a while. If that's what you like. For real. Alright, verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge. Verse 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor, of those who aren't diligent, and those who don't use their mind, heart, action, and emotions to accomplish things. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. So that is their poverty spiritually and physically. I'd rather be physically poor than spiritually and mentally poor. I enjoy being spiritually and mentally rich, you see? Because when I die, that can profit me a lot. But I can stack up all the riches, wear this nice all white, pure looking garment. You know what I'm saying? Have a nice big house, nice car, you know, nice big rims on them. Shiny, sparkling with gold all over. You know what I'm saying? But when I die, where does it go? It stays here. It becomes inheritance to who remains here. Look at all the pharaohs that try to die and bury themselves with their gold. That stuff got digged up. It became a treasure for someone else. That's here in the carnal realm. But when you die, knowledge, truth, love, and light can go a long way. It can go a long way. You can do many things with love and light when you're dead. You can do many things with love and light while you're alive. For as long as you have love and light in your being and truth, can't no one steal your joy. And that's what they want. They want your joy because your joy is your soul. It is all you got at the end of the day is your joy. You can have all the money in the world. No joy. How can you enjoy it? How can you enjoy when you don't have joy and don't know the meaning of joy? Now, this is an understanding. Those who have understanding will understand what I'm saying. And remember, wise men lay up knowledge. Verse 16. The labor, the diligent work, the earnesty of the righteous tendeth to life. The fruit of the wicked, which mean their actions, their effects, their results, what they put out, is sin. So the fruit of the wicked to sin. So the labor of the wicked and the fruit of the wicked is sin. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction. In the way and with Christ, Yis-RoyAl HaMashiach, the anointed, the Christed, which is the way, the truth, and the life. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction. But he that refuseth reproof and correction erroreth. Enemy planes flying by. One day all of them's going to come tumbling down. I can't wait till my avenger come and cut them up. Hallelujah! Verse 18, chapter 10 of Proverbs. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. And the multitude of words there wanteth not sin. But he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongue of the just is as choice silver. The heart of the wicked is little worth. They're worth nothing. They got no love and joy in their heart. They profit nothing, no justice, void of understanding, no counsel, no direction, no order, no harmony. Those people are little worth. The heart of the wicked is little worth. And he that refraineth his lips, that watch what he say, is wise. I can't stand evil, so I know one day my mouth will get me killed. I can't stand it. Verse 21. The lips of the righteous feed many. It's that holy bread, that holy manna. But fools die for want of wisdom, thirsty and hungry for truth, but never find it, not through the means they're trying to find it through. The blessing of the Most High, Yahweh, it maketh rich, prosperity, thrive. And he addeth no sorrow with it, no sorrow, just joy, bliss, and happiness. If you seek the kingdom of truth first, which is found in this book, this holy Bible, book of instructions before you die. Verse 23, chapter 10 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. Wisdom is my sport. Wisdom is my football. Wisdom is the hoop. Wisdom is the ball. Wisdom is the tennis racket. Wisdom is my court. What court are you in? There's all types of courts. A court of wisdom. But the sport of fools is mischief. Verse 24. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. The desires of the righteous shall be granted. In Yeshua's mighty, mighty name. Hallelujah. Amen. I affirm. Verse 25, chapter 10 of Proverbs. As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more. But the righteous is an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth, like how they gave Christ vinegar mixed with gall. Gall is something very, very disgusting. It's like doo-doo and vinegar and hard drink all mixed in one, and they gave it to him on a sponge. They did Christ wrong. They did Yeshua HaMashiach wrong. But as vinegar to the teeth and as smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard, the lazy, to them that send him. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes. Whoever sent the sluggard. Whoever sent Obama. Continuing on, verse 27. The fear, the dread of the Most High, Yahweh, prolongeth days. Which means be afraid to do wrong. Be afraid to do what's wrong and be happy and courageous to do what's right. Fear the punishments of the Most High. It's like fearing your parents. If you don't fear your parents, are you going to obey them? No, it doesn't take much thought. But if you're afraid of your parents and you're scared of crap of them, would you go sneaking out the window and go and partying late at night when they tell you no, and you know that there's going to be a spanking when you come home? Heck no. Heck no. You'll just wait until you're the legal and lawful age to get up out the house, get your own house, and do what you want then. While you're in your parents' home, you're under their rules. And the Bible actually says to obey and honor your parents as well. Now I understand there's some wicked parents in today's time. I understand. I tend to be dealing with some of that stuff at times. But you know what? Try to help them. Try to give them some word. Try to build each other up. Do your best to respect them. You know what I'm saying? But once again, if you're not under your own roof, you really can't say much. You know what I'm saying? You should be appreciative that they put food on the table, that they give you a roof, that they support you here and there, and that they love you, that they brought you into existence. I hope you have parents like that. But if you don't, I suggest that you go somewhere else. No one should be abused under any man under the roof of earth, under the sun. Because the Most High will deal with those parents too. Don't think they got a free ticket to abuse their children and get away. Everybody will pay for what they have done and caused. Cause and effect. What you put in is what you have in store. And the desire of the righteous shall be granted. And the righteous is an everlasting foundation. But the wicked shall be no more. As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more. Verse 27 once again. The fear of the Most High prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened and cut short. Verse 28, chapter 10 of Proverbs. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness. That is the fruit of the soul. Gladness, compassion, joy. That's how you know you're spiritually rich. But if you're still full of hatred and wickedness and darkness, you can tell that you're in a spiritual poverty and need to start building some inner strength. Remember, your thoughts, emotions, and actions shape your reality. Respect my energetic field, dear ones. But the expectation of the wicked shall perish and fail utterly, abruptly. All plans fail. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C through Z, all failed. In the mighty light of Yis-RoyAl, the truth, he shall save. Verse 29. The way of the Most High, Yahweh, he exists, is strength. Yahweh Gabar, to the upright. The way of the Most High, which is truth, is strength to the upright. But destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity, to the workers of sin, to those that worship boxes, squares, triangles, crosses, animals, stars, sun, moon, all this stuff. They're all workers of iniquity. Today's Christianity and Catholics and Islam and Buddhists and Hindu, all workers of iniquity. They deny the all being supreme one, and they worship its creation. They worship the creation and the creature more than the creator and the maker. They worship the painting but not the artist that painted the painting. Those people, those religions, and us Hebrew Israelites are not religious. We believe in truth. And if you want to call truth a religion, go ahead. Join the religion then. But we're not in a religion. Religion brings war. It brings division. It's literally like religion. Putting people into sects and cults. Separating people from the absolute one truth. And they allow people to believe any old junk that they want to believe. Or you have the right to believe what you want to believe. In other words, you have the right to go to hell. They're leading you to the broad path to hell. When the path to heaven is narrow, there's only one way there, and there's only one God there, one truth, one creator, one life, one light. And once it's over with, it's over with. So choose the narrow path to heaven instead of the broad, selective way to hell. If you don't believe me, then go ahead, test it for yourself. When you die, you won't be able to come back. That's all I got to tell you. So it better be worth it. Like I said, you can never fail by living righteous. I haven't heard one evil word out of this creator's mouth. Yeah, he called fools fool. What's wrong with calling fools fools? What's wrong with calling an intelligent person or an intelligent, natural, living, breathing man or woman intelligent? The intelligent is intelligent, the fool's the fool. A girl's a girl, a boy's a boy, a dog's a dog, a cat's a cat. It is what it is. Don't feel upset because it's true. So the way of the Most High truth is strength to the upright. but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. Verse 30. The righteous shall never be removed. Never. The truth can never be moved. It can never be removed. But the lie can, because truth abolished lie. But the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. Only the righteous will inhabit the earth. Look at these enemies flying up there again. May the enemy come crashing down in a hail of fire. The years of the wicked shall be shortened. 29. Destruction shall be to the workers of sin. All those black military choppers down. The righteous shall never be moved, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. Verse 31. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but the froward tongue shall be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh fraudness. Chapter 11 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, verse 1. A false balance, like yin and yang ain't no balance. You can't be half happy and half sad at the same time. That's called being bipolar. Bipolarism. A false balance is abomination to the Most High, Yahweh. But a just weight is his delight. Like your gas stations, they're not giving you the full measure of gas you think they're giving you. They make the speed limit run up, the digital limit run up. They got all these extra tiny numbers running up. It gives you the illusion and feeling that you're getting the gas you paid for. They're not giving you the exact gas that you paid for. Nothing is just in this unequal system. Everything is off whack, off orbit, out of course. So a false balance, half happy, half sad, is abomination to the Most High. It's called lukewarm. It's a demon, matter of fact. That's its name. I'll find out the Hebrew name for that as we proceed. But a just weight is his delight. Verse 2. When pride cometh, like Leviathan, then cometh shame. When you're afraid to be wrong. When you're afraid to admit someone else is right. When you're afraid to correct yourself because you think you know it all. I don't know it all. I don't know much at all, period. I'm a baby. I'm a child. I'm a student. I have so much room to learn. But you got adults, especially elderly people, they think they know it all. You can learn something from a little kid. If you understand knowledge, if you understand truth, a child can tell you truth. Even a child will let you know, Mom, no man created that sky and those stars that we see twinkling in the sky. That's some truth. You can learn something from that child. But then there's some older people too that know truth too. So wherever truth is at, learn it. You got to have the gift of discernment to know what is right and what is wrong. What is acceptable and what's not acceptable. They got a bunch of old people that's void of knowledge, especially in today's time. It's the children today bringing the truth. Look at me. Am I an old man? Just because I'm holding a stick in my hand don't make me an old man. I'm still young. I have never heard such words come out of any other adult's mouth in my life. This is the first time I'm learning something. Because the adults are void of knowledge. They're just workers nowadays. Workers of iniquity. There's two types of works in existence. Working for God and angels. And working for the devil and demons. What you think you're working for God in this abusive system? Okay. Someone's getting ready to go down. When pride cometh, because you're wrong and you won't admit it, now you're going to look stupid when you're forced to accept that you're wrong. Then cometh shame, because you were wrong and you said they were wrong. It was just a mess. Arguing back and forth for what? Because your pride. May the tree of Leviathan be hacked down, and the pride of Leviathan be ambushed, and be stomped upon, and his head bruised. but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them. May your integrity guide you. Upright. Up and right. In this upside down and backwards world. But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. They shall destroy their self. Let them suffer in their filth. It's the worst you can do. The worst you can do to yourself is use excessive energy that you didn't need to use and wasting your time on people who don't deserve your energy. Let me save my breath. Verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, in the day of vengeance, but righteousness delivereth from death. It said that again. It delivereth you from sin. Righteousness is riches. Verse 5. The righteousness, tazadah, of the perfect, the perfectly peaceful, because peaceful means perfect, and perfect means peaceful, shall direct his way. But the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness, sins, and transgressions. His disobedience will have him go right into the flame. Don't touch the fire, my son. Oh, no. I thought I told you not to touch the fire. Oh, daddy, help. Nope, I can't help you now. This is unquenchable fire. So the wicked shall fall by his own mischief. Verse 6. The righteous, hatazadak, of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, disappear, become null and void, nu protunc ab initio, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. And hypocrites doing things and telling people not to do. And I tend to be a hypocrite here and there at times. That is my confession. But that's because I've been tricked when I was young, and it's now I know the truth, so I'm going through a transition. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. So through the knowledge and accepting that you are who you are and changing that and amending your ways, you shall be delivered. So confess your sins, don't hide them. I am not a perfect man, I just know things. And plus I'm reading the Bible on top of this. These aren't my words. Verse 10, chapter 11 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown like Babel by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, those next to him, or her, or those that aren't him, or her. But a man of understanding holdeth his peace, which is his perfection. He is low, he doesn't try to prove anything. Verse 13, a talebearer, a tattletale, a big mouth, revealeth secrets. But he that is of a faithful, amawan, rawak, of a faithful spirit, concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, like there is no counsel in America, no law, we're in complete anarchy, no order, no harmony, no justice, no equity, no equality. So where no counsel is, what? The people fall. United we stand, we fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. The Most High is our counselor. He gives good advice. Before you do anything, consult your Most High lawyer. Lawaya. Verse 15. He that is surety, a debtor or a trustee, like the police are trustees and the judges are trustees. Everyone that works in the system is considered a surety, a trustee. especially if you have a birth certificate and a social security, that means you sold your birthrights for benefits from the devil. Because the government is the devil. They're trying to govern your mental, which shapes your reality. So he that is surety, a debtor for a stranger, shall smartphones, smart meters, smart everything. And he that hated suretyship, being a debtor, or a loaner, or a borrower, is sure. So he that hated being a debtor is sure. Watch out what contracts you sign. In today's society, people are signing all these unnecessary contracts because another man that's not dumb is telling them that they have to. Especially with mortgages. It's a big scam. It's a big mortgage. A JP Morgan gauge. 12 gauge shotgun. It's really literally putting you to death and making you a surety. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. Verse 17, chapter 11 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. We'll be pausing on chapter 14. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul. He treats himself good. He keeps himself from sin. He obeys the Most High. He preserves his soul. But he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh, like smoking and drinking and being with someone abusive, or masturbation, or adultery, or fornication. All that stuff is cruel to the self. How can you love yourself if you commit such transgressions? You don't love yourself. Eating that junk food, that McDonald's, and eating pig and you don't love yourself. And you hate wise instruction. Therefore, you might end up refusing what I'm saying today. So the merciful man or woman doeth good to his or her own soul. But he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work. The wicked worketh a deceitful work. It's very easy to see who's wicked. But to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Righteousness shall be what he reap in the harvest time, in the end days. As righteousness tendeth to life, righteousness tendeth to Christ, Yis-RoyAl, HaMashiach, Mashiach, Yeshua. Continuing on. Proverbs, MaShaLaY, chapter 11, verse 8. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Righteousness shall be what he reaped and what he sowed. Verse 19. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. Verse 20. They that are of a froward heart are abomination to the Most High, Yahweh. But such as are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, like the New World Order, martial law, wicked join hand with wicked, the wicked shall not be unpunished. They shall all be punished and rot in hell. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. The descent of the righteous, the seeds and the children of the righteous shall be saved. He shall save, Yashai, he shall deliver, Yahshua. Verse 22, chapter 11 of Proverbs. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. What is a fair woman which is without discretion? Like a jewel of gold in a pig's snout, in a pig's nose, in a pork's nose. So is a fair woman which is without discretion. She think that her man loves her and all this stuff, but he's probably cheating behind her back. She knows it, but she don't want to confront it because she want to be all compassionate, loving, and graceful towards the wrong person. Like I always say, some people just do not deserve your love. It can run out. Some people think love don't run out, but yes, it can. Get your heart broken at least 13 times in a row, trust me. You'll think that love is a delusion. That's what most people think in today's world, that love don't exist. Because they're looking for it in the wrong place. So verse 23, the desire of the righteous is only good. So the desires, the wants, the needs, the lust, the covetousness of the righteous is only good. I lust for good. I desire good. I want good. I need good. She's a desirable woman and a wonderful mate. But the expectation of the wicked is wrath in the end days. There is that scatter it and yet increase it. Like us, we've been scattered. The 12 tribes of Yis-RoyAl have been scattered, but we're increasing spiritually. And there is that withholdeth more than is meet. They hold more money than they need. They take more than they need, but it tendeth to poverty. They shall be spiritually broke, and they go to spiritual hell, cell, jail. You see? So just like there's a prison on earth when you don't pay off debt, there's also a prison in the spiritual realm when you're in spiritual debt. We owe the Most High everything that we stole and borrowed and lended from Him. This breath is borrowed, these words are borrowed, this flesh is borrowed, everything's borrowed. I command and give my spirit and soul back to the Most High. Matter of fact, that was one of the last words that Christ said before He let His spirit go back home, before He returned it to the Father. So verse 25, chapter 11 of Proverbs. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him. But blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth or is charitable. Verse 27. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch on the tree of life called Christ. Yis-RoyAl, HaMashiach, Soter Christos, Mashiach Yeshua. Okay, verse 29. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. They shall inherit nothing, void. And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. He that leadeth into captivity shall now go into captivity. Many is about to go into slavery when Christ comes with a rod of iron. And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. Verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. The fruit of the righteous, the cause and effect of the righteous, is a tree of life. It's food and fruit. And he that winneth souls is wise. Once again, Proverbs 11, chapter 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Salvation is what we here for. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. Chapter 12 of Proverbs, vice and virtues, virtues and vice. This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. But he that hateth reproof and correction and modification, like repentance, nakam, is a fool. Those who hate correction and reproof is stupid. They're brutish. Verse 2. A good man obtaineth favor of the Most High, Yahweh. But a man of wicked devices, technology and chips, will be condemned. Verse 3. A man shall not be established by wickedness, like how the Caucasian people, the Caucasoid people, established their rulership in America by killing Indians and killing the so-called Moors that were here, and the other tribes of like Indians and the Yorubas and the whatchamacallit, pardon me, it's the Yorubas, the Maroons, and there's another one as well. And the Taino tribes. Those are the 3 Indian tribes that they killed. They did it in Haiti, they did it in Africa, they did it in Israel, they did it in America. But because they built everything based on wickedness and blood, they shall go into slavery now. Thus saith the Most High. So he says in verse 3, chapter 12, a man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit, mask, veil, color of law. The words, hadabar, of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, innocent blood, to cast a net and wait for you, to fall into the trap, putting a bait into the ocean and see what fish will catch it today, whether small or big, rich or poor. But the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. Verse 7, the wicked are overthrown like Babel and Goliath, and are not. That means they don't exist. They're blotted out. But the house of the righteous, Bayat Tazadak, shall stand firm and strong. Verse 8. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart, a pervert mind, shall be despised, despicable. He that is despised, despicable, and hath a servant, is better than he that honoreth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. He cares about the life of his animal. But the tender mercies of the wicked, we're talking about tender mercy, of the wicked are cruel. I can't imagine when they're not being tender and merciful. Woo! He that tilleth his land, that work his land, and earn his food, shall be satisfied with bread, with money, with food, with dollars. But he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared and trapped by the transgressions of his lips. But the just shall come out of trouble, Jacob's trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes. This is pride. But he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. Like Obama don't even listen to the Congress no more, and all power was invested in Congress, although they established their dictatorship through wickedness and blood. No wonder it's not standing. Like he said, the recompense of a man's hand shall be rendered unto him, which means you shall be treated as you treated others. Be ready to go into slavery. Verse 16, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame, blot out sin. And Yeshua's mighty name, and the Holy Spirit, and the Father that giveth them life. Verse 17, he that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness shows deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health, rejuvenation, restoration, revival, resurrection. Verse 19, chapter 12 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, those who believe in justice, justice. But the wicked shall be filled with mischief. It keeps sounding like the Most High is talking about the government. It really does, because they're up to all this wrong and wickedness and mischief. Verse 22. Lying lips are abomination to Yahweh, the Most High. But they that deal truly are his delight, like Yis-RoyAl. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent, the earnest, those who use their heart, mind, emotions, and actions to accomplish their desires and needs, shall bear rule. But the slothful and lazy shall be under tribute, under taxation. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh stoop, but a good word maketh glad and resurrect. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful and lazy man roasted not that which he took in hunting. He go pay for it, or buy it, or hire someone else to do it, like people hiring nannies to clean up their own filth for them. The slothful man or woman roasted not that which he took in hunting. But the substance of a diligent man is precious. The substance, the tangibility, the physical reward of a man is precious. Because he earned it. And he don't want to waste it. Believe that. In the way of righteousness, Tazadah, is life, Christ, Yis-RoyAl. And in the pathway thereof, of life and righteousness, there is no death, but eternal life, because the truth lives forever. Chapter 13 of Proverbs, MaShaLaY, last chapter. A wise son heareth his father's instruction. Do you hear the Most High's instructions? He is the Father of all things. He's the one who put his seed in Mother Earth, which gave birth to us and is nurturing us like an incubator. The holy matrix. So a wise son or daughter heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. Those who treat people bad and force things upon people don't hear people's ignoring them. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, which means watch out what you say and who you say it to and how it comes out. Some people don't take what you say easily and lightly. And that's why I said I believe it will be my mouth that gets me killed one day, because I'm not going to make my tongue bleed for any wicked man. I shall expose them. I shall speak out. I shall blot it out. Let it be. As long as I'm doing it for truth, right? You can never be a fool for speaking the truth. But you can always be a fool for speaking foolishness. Correct me if I'm wrong. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. But he that openeth wide his lips, a big mouth, a talebearer, a tattletale, shall have destruction. We all know that snitches don't live long. One way or another, they will be killed. So keep your mouth shut. Unless you're exposing truth. The soul of the sluggard, the lazy, desireth, wants, and needs. I want this, I want that. Let's go to the mall and walk around and window shop. And have nothing, because they don't work for it. They just want, need. Get your butt off the sofa and go out there and work for what you want. Go earn what you want. It's not going to come to you like that. Even God's telling you that. That you got to be diligent with your hand, not sit there and wait. Y'all people's perspective of the Most High sometimes is a little bit off. Salvation comes through self-action. And it comes through what you believe in, what you have faith in. We believe in the truth and the Father of it. Christ came to spread truth. He had no religion. And nor did he walk around with a Bible in his hand and read from the book. He was the truth itself, incarnated in flesh, like it says in John chapter 1. And the darkness understandeth it not. So, verse 4, the soul of the sluggard, the lazy, desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome, and cometh to shame. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke, because the poor have nothing to give. They don't go to rob the poor, they go and rob the rich. Keep stacking everything in your home. See when famine hits and people losing jobs and all that stuff comes, that those people will be up at your door or in through your window looking for food and all that stuff. And no wonder they try to take people's guns so they don't protect yourself from people like that. Bandits. People jumping in through your window and all this stuff to steal your stuff because you have a lot of it and they want it. They're envious. That's why you shouldn't tell people how much money you have and brag about your riches and flash your money. Oh man, I'm balling. $5,000 chain on your neck. Are you crazy? You go walk around the hood with that stuff, they're going to snatch it right off your neck. You might have a gun on you. You die with it in your hand. You people got to make right decisions. If you're rich, you don't have to flaunt it. That pride will get you killed. Especially those hip-hop artists, man. They're so stupid. Pardon my language, but it's true. Oh, look at me. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire, a trillionaire. I got all the money in the world. All the babes, all the cars. Look at the shiny rims on my car. Well, you better keep a surveillance on that car, because at night, when you're asleep, guess what? Someone's going to get some monkey wrenches and take those rims off. So stop flaunting your money. So the ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out and blown out, stomped out. Only by pride cometh contention. When you think you know it all, when you think you know more than everyone, we can learn a little bit or a lot from many people. From many races, from many tribes, all colors, all creeds, all types of background. You'll be surprised. Keep an open mind, but have the spirit of discernment with you and ready. Because some people, they'll say good things and act good, but inside their heart they're a ravening wolf. Wolves in sheep clothing. May the Father forgive us for our debts, sins, and trespasses. And may His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Because remember, your thoughts and emotions don't only shape your reality. Your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions is your free will. So may the Most High's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And may we receive our daily bread today. And He forgive us for all of our sins, and we forgive everyone for their offenses, sins, and transgressions against us. May the Most High forgive them too. And may He not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil thing. Because this is His glory, and His kingdom, and His majesty and dominion forever and ever. And Yis-RoyAl, His Son's mighty name, I affirm. Amen. Verse 10. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wisdom is my advisor. Wealth gotten by vanity, like how America was gotten by blood and murder and lie and deception and fraud, like Americans always do. I'm not no American. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Shall be diminished. So wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. But he that gathereth by labor, that work for what he want, shall increase. So work for what you want. If you're selling drugs and you're trying to get money from selling drugs, you're going to lose all of that. Yeah, you worked a pretty long time to do what you do and sell the drugs that you're selling. You got away with it for 20 years or 3 years at least. Okay, once they find you that one time, all that stuff becomes evidence. You lose all that money. I don't know what those crooks do with the money once they find it, but all I know that you're going to jail, you're being sentenced, they got a whole bunch of proof and evidence against you and a case against you. You're going right into the slammer. Your wealth shall be diminished, But if you work lawfully and you do things that are lawful and they don't harm people, you shall enjoy the fruit of your work forever. No matter how much money you accumulate, when police see you, they'll be like, well, at least they ain't selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? So if those who are trying to build money through vanity, they shall lose every cent of it. Their house, their life, their family and all. And a gunman might go inside their house. What drug dealer you know will call police when their house is full of drugs? It will be a successful robbery. Those who do that stuff attract that stuff. Keep yourself away from me. So, verse 11 again, chapter 13 of Proverbs. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, which means stick to what you plan to do from beginning to end, or it shall make your heart sick. But when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word, Yis-RoyAl, Hadabar, shall be destroyed by the word, by the truth. But he that feareth the commandment, the command shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life. This book is a book of law. They call it Tanakh, or the Torah, which means a book of law, before dying. Some people say before leaving earth, but before you die and go to either heaven or hell. Right now we're in a transition. We're in between life and death. Our body is death, our spirit is life. We're like half and half. We have this very unique and special position in existence. Even the position of where Earth is at compared to the other planets. Many life want to come here. Many things want to live here. And yes, there's more than just us here. We're not alone. We would like to think that we're above everything. We're just above the animals. There's other things that is there. I may not know exactly what they are. I heard some things. I've seen some things. All right. That's cool. But all I know is that there's more to life than what we see with the eye. With the physical eye. With the spiritual eye, there's all types of things going on. Those with that eye shut will think you're delusional and crazy because all they see is through the eye of flesh. So all they see is flesh. There's more to life than flesh. Hey, your emotions ain't flesh. Your thoughts ain't flesh. They become flesh. Don't you think the Most High thought of us and then we became flesh? We're nothing but a thought. Keep that in mind while we are still in mind. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Verse 14. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares and traps and bait of death, of sin. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. Every prudent man, diligent man, dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly, exposed, revealed, debunked. Verse 17. A wicked messenger, which is a messenger of death, an angel of death, falleth into mischief, like Barak, Lucifer, Zeus, lightning. But a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. What shall be poverty and shame to those who refuse instruction? Poverty. And like he said in verse 12, hope deferred maketh the heart sick. And he said, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. Verse 14, the law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. And he says right here, verse 17, but a faithful ambassador is health, restoration. Verse 18, poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth these instructions. But he that regardeth reproof and correction and amend his ways shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, because we all know hope deferred maketh the heart sick. So the desire accomplished, when you accomplish what you had in mind, from start to end and you accomplished it and you're successful, it is sweet to the soul, like honey to the tongue. But it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. So for the wicked to leave evil, it's not righteous for them. They're like, wait, how am I going to leave evil? I was paying the house based on the evil. I'm able to keep the car because of the evil. Because of the evil, I got all these chicks with me and all these friends. So for them, they shall be a surety to sin, a trustee of the devil. So once again, but it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. I'd rather be alone. Evil pursueth sinners, and it should, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. It will pay off. Continue to do good. That's the fruit of the soul. A tree of life. Verse 22, chapter 13 of MaShaLaY, of Proverbs. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. But there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. He that spareth his rod, that spareth the belt, and does not chastise their children, or give them a tiny tap, not tiny tap, but a moderate tap on the hand or butt. Like, hey, depending on their age too. He that spareth his rod, hateth his son or daughter. You don't love your children if you don't correct them. But he that loveth him or her, chasteneth him betimes. Him or her, the parents that love their children constantly correct their children, constantly try to save them. They don't ignore them, and they don't just let them do whatever they want to do. What great joy for a child that has a parent that let them do what they want to do, and they never get grounded or get their butt beat or something, you know? That child is going to become a criminal. Ask anybody in those hoods, and those neighborhoods, and those ghettos, those little suburbs. Systematically created to be that way. And somehow all these dark-skinned Negroes have all these guns, and man, they trying to have them kill themselves. That stuff can get out of hand, like they had funded ISIS, and how they funded the Taliban, how the CIA bring drugs into the neighborhood. Okay, I wonder where all these drugs are coming from anyway. I thought they were, arresting people who have that junk. How come so much more people have it? Each time they put one behind bars, because the police and the CIA and the FBI and the NSA, they all work with each other, man. It's all about money. It's all about money in their eye. They don't care about what's good and what's right. It doesn't pay sometimes. Giving away free things doesn't pay sometimes. They want that money, that moolah. Why you think you got your young daughters and women prostituting for the same? And your young men gunning people down for the same? And people who don't care about law and justice because they love that moolah, that money, that demon called mammon, creating spiritual famine. So he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes, many times. That's in Proverbs 13:24. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want, need, lust, covet, and desire. And that's true. All praise to the Most High. I hope y'all enjoyed this video today. Hallelujah. MaShaLaY. May you guys continue to live in the path of righteousness and do what's right and just, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people feel. Put the Most High before all, and you shall be fine, my dear friends. Shalom, y'all. Salute. All praise to the Most High. Yis-RoyAl.